Hi, I'm Maureen Tara Nelson of MTN Matchmaking for Friday Facebook Live with everyone's favorite guest, Dr. Dave.
Hello, Maureen.
So thank you for joining me again and putting up with all my shenanigans and trying to get this set up.
Well,
And
I'm of no help with that.
yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but usually the guests are the ones that set this all up for me, so I don't have to worry about it. But
I completely admit I'm a coddled brat.
me too. Okay, so we have so much to talk about and so many great questions. But first, let me say, if my face looks a little bit swollen, I did go to Dr. Pincus in Smithtown yesterday, and I think he has a practice in Manhattan, but also in Florida. And I know his practice for years. I know he's the best plastic surgeon on Long Island. Now, I didn't get plastic surgery, so I'm sure someone's going to run back to my sister and say, Maureen said she got plastic surgery. I did not. I just got my usual Botox, which takes 2 weeks to work. So you won't see any benefit of that. But I got filler for the first time in my face. And so I'm still a little black and blue. And there was a little bit left. And because 2 weeks ago, I had the matchmakers convention in the city where I think everybody looked great. Their lips looked perfect. Every single matchmaker but me had perfect lips. So I did say, can you make me a little natural looking fuller? So with what was left, she did. But they hurt. You know, they're very sensitive. Usually I guzzle down my monster drink. It's really it's a little bit harder than people think, but I'm looking at the end game and I'm really excited to see the benefits of it. And knowing that filler lasts for a year is great.
Yeah, the lips actually lips are in the top 3 of organs in our body that have the most sensory nerves in them.
What's number 1?
I can't say without this being an X-rated program. I'm not saying a word. No.
What's number 2?
I've had splaining to do for both of those. No.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
the lips are really, really amazingly sensitive. And,
Yeah.
and people who get enhancement of the lips, one, it's beautiful, and 2, it's painful. So
it is effing painful. And I like, Dr. Pincus's office. Again, I've known them for years. I know they're the best. I've been recommending them for years, even before I went. But I said, I want them to look very natural. And that's all they do is make them look natural. So I'm excited to see what the outcome is because these might be swollen. I'm not really sure what I'm going to look like by next week, but we'll see next week on Friday Facebook Live. So, plus, it's hard to smile. Plus, I was up all last night. So I didn't sleep at all last night because they said you have to be careful when you sleep that you don't sleep like this, or like that, which I do.
Goes both sides.
Yeah. So I tried to sleep on my back, which I can't do that.
They used to make you sleep in a chair, sitting straight up, because people fall asleep and then they roll over on their beautiful new face, and they make it lopsided. So,
well, again, so I didn't get any real sleep, but I have a ton of work to do. And I'm so upset because today is the most beautiful day of the week. I could have laid out in the sun. I can't do that with filler. I have to wait a few days.
Shouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah. And I guess I can walk, but they said to just be careful with doing too strenuous exercise. So I just...
It's 65 degrees here in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's beautiful here on Long Island.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
So
let's hope that we're finally through this nonsense winter.
Yes. Okay, so a couple of quick updates that next week is Dan's Papers Rosé summer party that they do every year. And we try to go at MTN Matchmaking every single year. And so we're going to go. It's in Southampton. You can get your tickets online if anyone else is going. And Dave is coming too.
I'm going to be in town, yes. It'll be the first time ever. I'm a native Long Islander, and I've never been to the Hamptons.
God, you're going to love it. Oh, can't wait.
If someone would have introduced me, perhaps I would have gotten a Memorial Sloan Kettering for my cancer treatment or for my cancer studies, and then stayed in Long Island. But come see, come see.
So last night when I went shopping, I was going to pick you up a pink Ralph Lauren polo shirt. Do you have a pink one? I forget.
I don't have. I've had pink shirts in the past. And yes, I don't mind wearing a pink shirt just in case someone's going to say something. I'm self-assured.
They haven't been doing that for 10 years now.
My friends like to bust my chops when I wear my pink shirt. So.
Well, so I'm not wearing this, of course, but it made me remember that this is a Ralph Lauren dress and it's pink. So it made me think that I almost got that for you, but then I thought, I think you have it already. So I didn't. Anyway.
There's no question you have good taste.
Thank you. And I know how to shop. Let's just say that. I don't know about having good taste, but I know how to shop.
Yeah.
So anyway, at the convention, because I couldn't even do Facebook Live last week, the convention in Manhattan was amazing. The New York City celebrity matchmaker, Bonnie Winson, is my friend. She is the best. I love her. She now is partners with Patty Stenger, the millionaire matchmaker, who was there as well. And everyone knows she's a celebrity matchmaker in LA, but now they're partners. So I'm going to have something in the Hamptons for breast cancer. So now I've chosen the charity that I want to give the proceeds to. And I asked them if they both would come with me and participate with us. And they said yes. So now I have to work that out with them. And of course, I'm also celebrating my 25-year anniversary of matchmaking, but it has nothing to do with that because then no one would show up. But we're doing it for breast cancer, and I want to invite all my clients, all my previous clients, all my success stories, friends, family, and anyone else that wants a great summer party in the Hamptons for breast cancer. So now there's a few different breast cancer charities on Long Island. So now I have to figure out which is the best one that I should do. Anyway, so that is going to be in August, I think, but I have to check with Bonnie and Patty Sanger as to what days they can do it. And they looked beautiful as ever. Like just perfect. Okay, anyway. So I was too exhausted. On the way home, Dave got me a white limo to take me home.
Dave who?
Dr. Dave. So if anyone watches our social media, you'll see at the end of the pictures of the Matchmakers event, I showed me in the limo, and then I showed a picture of myself laying down on the limo just before I went to sleep, and I took a picture of me with the mirror above. I don't think people realize what that was, but that's okay. Anyway, so thank you for that again.
It was my honor.
So I just slept the whole way home. And next thing I knew, the guy said, okay, you're home. You know what he said, though? Because first of all, it was a fortune what Dave paid, a fortune. Now, I would recommend the company, but the guy, there was just, I mean, he was fine, very nice, very nice. But there were just a couple of like little tiny things which don't mean anything. But why I'm bringing it up is he gave me his card and he said, I own this limo. So if you ever want to use it again, you can go through me and it'll be less expensive. Now, I thought that was a little bit shady that he did that, right?
It is Long Island.
Like what? Like
everybody has an angle, you know? It's funny. Everybody has an angle.
I just was so taken back by that. How does the company not know?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he felt comfortable enough talking to you. Because, I mean, if he...
Oh, not anymore. I just outed him for doing something inappropriate.
Yeah, no, but for the company, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's my limo. I drive for the company, but I can drive on my own on the side.
And it'll be a lot less
$200 less.
So, but this big bling heart ring is from my son Brendan on Mother's Day. And I had the best Mother's Day here. And that's also on my social media. So we better get to these questions before people get bored. And if you want to write in comments, hopefully they'll show up on Dave's screen. And Dave is going to actually read the questions. And I didn't even look at all the questions yet. So, okay. You're on.
Let me see. I don't see them. Oh, I'm sorry. I get it. Yep. I'm as technology spastic as anybody. So, why do so many successful men on Long Island chase beautiful women, ... but they panic when the relationship gets serious?
Okay, so I know that they're doing that because when you're meeting a guy on your own, ladies, you have no idea what his intentions are. Of course, a guy, if he wants sex, he's not going to be saying, oh, by the way, I'm just looking for sex, because he knows, you know, unless you're a slut, you're not going to go for that. So guys will say, yeah, I'm looking for a committed relationship. And then they get what they want, and then they're gone. And the ladies are left to wonder, what, you know, why did that happen? Well, because he wasn't looking for a committed relationship. And the only real way to know that is if a guy goes to any certified matchmaker. I'm not saying just me, because I'm just Long Island and now Snowbirds. But, you know, no matter where you live, if it's in a different state, go to a certified matchmaker, or you could ask me and I'll send you them. And you'll know if someone's making an investment, they're only going to make an investment when they want a committed relationship. Otherwise, it's wasting money, and guys don't do that. What do you think, Dave?
I think the women have all the control. I think, and they should realize that. No kidding around. They should realize that because, I mean, you should be interested, but make a guy prove his worth. Okay. Everybody talks a great game, but very few people, my mother used to say before we left in the morning to go to school, put up or shut up. And it's the same sort of thing. I mean, a lot of guys talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. So I would, if you're interested in somebody and you have compatibility with them, and you've been put together by a certified matchmaker, I threw that in there so I didn't get killed.
Don't go to chain matchmakers. You're meeting a salesperson who's
you want somebody who has your best interests at heart. And
who's not on commission.
Yeah. Nobody ever died of taking it slow in a relationship.
Right.
Okay. Was that number 2?
Yes, we're up to number 2, but I thought of something.
Oh, we're up to number 2. Okay. Do you want to say something?
No, I will. Again, like you held back before, I'm going to be professional and hold back. So go ahead. I'll tell you.
You understand I'm a kid from Levittown, actually Hell's Kitchen, but why are so many gorgeous, successful women still single on Long Island?
We have all different ages at MTN Matchmaking, but there is an abundance there always has been. Since I started 25 years ago, there has always been an abundance of women 50 plus they're smart, they're beautiful, they work out, they don't need a man for money, yet they're single. And the unfortunate thing and the reason is, men, you do have it easy when it comes to age, because if you are a successful, great, intelligent, handsome guy, you can get younger. And on the outside world, if you wanted a gold digger, but we don't take on men like that, you can use another service. A lot of my services, a lot of my colleagues, not my service, they'll take on people as a database client. I don't do that. All of my clients are paying clients, just like the men are. So guys, you'll always know that woman is just as interested and committed to a committed relationship as you are. But so I've never believed in that. But if a guy wants that, you're going to pay $25,000 up to $100,000, but you could basically say what you want. So, millionaires, billionaires, if you're going to do that, then make sure you say, Maureen, Tara Nelson, MTN Matchmaking wouldn't take me, but she said I should go to you, because we all work together and we collaborate, and then we'll each get a referral fee. So there's a lid for every pot. Some men, that's what they want. And some women want the free membership. They don't mind. That's just not how MTN Matchmaking works. So I think in this day and age, when people come to my service, I don't get the men because they hear things like this. So if a guy, years ago, they would say, can I go 20 years younger? And I'd be like, get the fuck out. Like that. Or I'd say something like, what age is your daughter? You want to date someone your daughter's age? That's creepy. You're creepy. And after doing that for years, they would stop coming in. So now I can go down 10 years easy because I specialize in compatibility. So I'm making sure my clients are compatible in 3 ways with their 5 must-haves. So again, if the guy is not as great as he thinks, since I don't use ages 50 plus, it's not going to work, But if you're a man on your own, if you're a guy looking on your own, you're successful in all those great things, and you're having gold diggers on Long Island come up to you that are 20 years younger, asking you out, and you don't want that because you want a committed relationship with a woman who's your equal, but yet you want someone younger, that's when you come to me, because I don't use ages in the 50 plus group. So it helps my men be able to sneak in there maybe 10 years younger, but they don't look it. They'll look the same age, because 50 plus, my clients look fantastic. And that's why I never showed ages at 50. But it also helps my ladies too, because a man might say, okay, Maureen, I'll listen to you, and the most will be 10 years. But then I say, if she's beautiful, you don't see her age, but you find out she's your age after you date her a few times, all of my men will say, then it doesn't matter. If I know I'm going out with her and I feel the chemistry, and I know we're compatible through you, but I'm feeling the chemistry, I won't care what age she is. So that's another reason why I love my men. So that's the reason why women on their own are single, because you can't do that for yourself. It's almost impossible. And you can complain. There have been ladies that have complained about my service, much older. And I'll look back and I'll see, oh, wow, that was 10 years ago she complained. She's still single. Isn't that interesting? So if anyone, say, if I couldn't do it for them, they still can't do it for themselves if they leave me. So it's hard. And that's why it's hard for ladies in the outside world, but not here at MTN Matchmaking. So what do you think about that, Dr. Dave?
I think there's a lot to digest. And I think everybody's unique, and every relationship is different than the other relationship. And you can't, not you, but me, you just can't say to yourself, okay, well, I'm this, I check this box, this box, this box, and that box, that box, that box, and it's going to work. You know that better than anybody. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Most times it does, obviously, with a certified matchmaker who knows what they're doing. The rest of us are fumbling around. I think you get smarter as you get older. But I don't know. You're the expert.
Okay. So, I think it's kind of obvious. And if you live on Long Island, you're set. We'll just say it like that. Okay. Next question.
Oh, I have to go back to my phone looking. Which piece of machinery do I have to play with now?
Now you see why I wanted you to print it.
Listen, I can cure cancer.
You knew that was coming.
I can cure cancer. I can save lives. I can't even work the printer.
I know.
What's the biggest red flag you see immediately when interviewing singles?
Oh my God. There are a lot of them, and I don't take on everyone. I disqualify at least 10 people a week. So to answer that, the highest amount of people I disqualify are mostly men, but sometimes women, who are showing signs of controlling behavior, and that I think, that sounds a lot like what we learned about narcissism 25 years ago plus when I was a pharmaceutical rep. So if I feel that way, I know how to get the crazy out of someone in 30 seconds. I know, just bring up his ex-wife, bring up his ex-girlfriends, and they're all the worst, and was always the best, and he's the victim, and blah, blah, blah. I could
Yeah.
set them up in less than 5 minutes and nope, done. So that's probably the biggest. But there's another red flag too of if someone's unrealistic. And I have to say, out of my 3,000 clients, which most of them are on hold with one another, which I love that because it means it's working. From hold, they can, many times they're going on getting married and they don't tell me until they have a baby. It's just amazing. But so I lost my train of thought because I just saw in my success story that I'm going to ask them if they'll be part of my commercial because I'm redoing my commercial on Cablevision. I redo it every 2 years, but I say the same exact thing. So, one of our favorite success stories who had a baby, I'm going to ask him if I could just use the photo of him and his beautiful wife, and he has a beautiful daughter before, and their beautiful baby that they made together, and just have him talk for like 3 seconds or 5 seconds. So, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked because I thought, oh gosh, I was supposed to ask him to do that last week. So, back to the red flags. Yeah. So with people not being realistic, most of my men, even if they start to be unrealistic, we can call them up. Ruth, who's been with me 20 years, and now Stacy's back. Stacy's been with me 15 years. Kristen's like a daughter to me. Everybody knows, and everyone knows Margaret. We've been friends since 7 years old, but we are still hiring for 2 more people because of the growth that we've had. So anything you want to add as I'm just, babbling?
No, but I always like your answers.
Because they're not being realistic. If the women tend to be more unrealistic, and that's hard because then they'll just quit. Why would you quit? Why would you get angry when during the interview, doesn't everyone remember? I've said, can you be positive, patient, and open-minded? And if you can, it'll work, and I'll do everything possible to make it work. Hey, Kim. Oh my gosh. Kim, we love Kim. Gentlemen on Long Island, if you want the sexy, coolest, beautiful African-American lady who, she's just so much fun. Kim, you'd go out dancing with a guy in like 5 minutes, right? You wouldn't have to wait, say, okay, wait for next week. Give me an hour to get all dolled up. You'd be ready to go out in like 15 minutes, say, dancing, right? See? Guys, you love that. That's exactly what every guy wants. So I want every qualified African-American man on Long Island to give me a call today. 516-444-2861. Okay. Kim is the best. We love you, Kim. Okay, so yeah, but the funny thing is about the guys, if they, as I was saying, if they start off unrealistic, it just takes one call from Ruth and I, and then they'll realize it, and then they're the greatest. So that's why typically it's very, and some people just they're so great or they're so cool, whatever, that I have higher standards. Like Kim, I'm not settling with Kim and giving her a guy at a 70% ratio of compatibility. I'm not doing that. She deserves only the best. So that's why I'm even calling in guys that watch this. I still have to screen and qualify them. They still have to pay, of course, but they'll be for Kim. Okay. Anything to add about that, Dave, about singles being unrealistic?
No, I think we've talked about that in past sessions.
Oh, well, anytime I run into that with a woman, I like, oh, it's my fault. It's my fault that the men said no to them.
I you know, I believe strongly there's someone for everyone.
Live for every.
It helps, yeah, it helps to have somebody sort that out for them, so they don't have to go through the pain and the annoying, you know, process of kissing every frog, hoping to find a prince. I think you do a great job and a great service. I mean, let's face it, most people who are looking for love and looking for compatibility fall very short based on the fact that one, they're either exhausted from looking and then get someone to come along, or they get hopeless and jaded, and then they tend to repel decent prospects. So I think it's great what you guys do.
I have a girl right now that she used the service. She's Jewish, and at first she did just want Jewish only, and I said, no, can't do that. I'll recommend you to one of my colleagues who, they can do that like this. It's going to be much more of an investment, but so then she changed it to being open. And she went out 3 different times, and it didn't go to turn into 3 great dates, but I know the reasons why, because I get the feedback from the guys. Now, one thing I do is I don't, bang the girl over the head and say, well, you know what he said? He said this, that, and the other thing, and that's why he didn't want the date with you. I don't do that. I'll just stay positive the whole time because I'm trying, and I ask everyone, Kim knows this, you have to be positive, patient, and open-minded for this to work. So this girl used her membership. She had 3 guys that she went out with. Either they didn't like her or she didn't like them. Then the guys that she said yes to didn't say yes to her, and vice versa. The guys that said yes to her, she didn't say yes to. So that is a sure sign of someone being unrealistic. Because if you're only saying yes to people that are saying no to you and vice versa, that means, you have to come in the middle now and compromise and realize you're going by a photo, for God's sake. Let the guy take you out on a date and just see how he is in person. Our clients are so much better in person than they are even with my taking their photos. So, but the point I'm making is she's suing me next week. She wants her money back. And I gave her a huge discount because I knew she'd be a little bit difficult. So I gave her a huge discount that day. And I told her that day, that's why she's getting the discount. Nope, doesn't matter. So she's still suing me. So the reason I'm bringing this up is so people know, like last week, I went to Florida to open up the Florida Delray Beach office and to see the area, to snowbird. And then I had the Matchmakers Convention in Manhattan. And so it's just been a lot of really fun, exciting things. And someone wrote an email into me saying, you're always saying you're working all the time. I see what you're working. That's not work. You're having fun going out, traveling and this and that. They don't realize it's exhausting doing that. But this is a situation where it's not all glam and glory. I have someone who is unrealistic suing me for a refund just because she signed up knowing there's no refunds, knowing there's no guarantees, because she's not with someone. Like, that's just wrong. I would never do that. our guys would never do that. It's only just unrealistic women over the past that have done it. And out of all those lawsuits, in the past 25 years of matchmaking, I lost 2. And I only lost some because both times I just was not feeling well at all. And I just wasn't on my game and I didn't care. So anyway, so it's not all sunshine and roses. There's a lot of sleepless nights thinking, how did that girl turn? And she's probably doing it just so I'll give her more free time. No, in my service, what do they call that, Dave? The squeaky wheel gets the something. Gets the what?
Squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Okay, yeah, I don't do that. If you're a squeaky wheel, no. I send out matches and it takes me sometimes all week. So if you're going to be a squeaky wheel, you're not getting your matches first. 99% of my clients, like him, are the greatest people ever. Mm-hmm. So, that they're only hurting themselves. So but if someone on the flip side, if they take all my advice and they're always positive, patient, and open-minded, and they run out of time, I'll do everything I can to help them. And I would love to give them free time to make them successful. But I'm not doing that to someone who acts entitled and is unrealistic and turns bitchy. Not doing that. So,
sure.
Thank you. I just needed to vent.
I'm glad I can be of help.
What does Kim say? I can't read without my glasses.
Correct. It takes time. We love you. Kim said, oh my, sorry. Gets the oil. Correct. It takes time. Yes. We love you.
Thank you.
And then Kim said, love you. So I think she loves you.
I think she loves you too, Dave. Right, Kim?
I'm just a poor old country doctor doing the best he can.
Nope. She's always saying that Dr. Dave, he's the best. And I'm like, I know.
I'm overrated.
She loves when you said anyone could be any skin color. And that's how I was brought up by my mother saying, God made us all equal. You're not better than anyone else. So that's how I brought my kids up too.
My father was not. He was not that kind of guy. And actually dated a wonderful, sweet, kind, beautiful African-American girl while I was at Fordham University. And to say that it was a consternation in my family at that point in time is probably not going far enough.
Wow.
I didn't come home for holidays that year.
Nope.
So
okay, next question.
Anyway, neither here nor there.
Next question. You're up, Dave.
Oh, my phone. God, see, you too long. Now I got to get back on the. Okay. So this would be number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Why do singles say they want love but continuously pick the wrong people?
Okay. Well, first of all, opposites attract, but they're the worst things for us. So I know that. So when I'm matching people up, that's why I base it on 3 parts of compatibility, which is my own system. But I know, and we all do it, if you're going to match yourself on your own, we tend to go for the excitement of someone who is the opposite, but you're not going to be compatible. And you're only going by chemistry. You need to have compatibility too. So in my opinion, and what I've seen over the years is that's why it happens. The fun of the chemistry, that doesn't live forever. the compatibility, as I coined many years ago, compatibility breeds chemistry, but never the other way around. What do you say?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Um, I think people who want to be serious about finding a good, compatible partner that they can move through life with and create memories and all kinds of things. You can't do it by throwing a dart at a dartboard and hoping that you hit the winner. Some people do, but that's not a feasible way of doing it. We all watch the sitcoms and the TV shows about people falling in love in the first 15 minutes of the show, and that's how it's supposed to work. It really doesn't. It's
right.
I mean,
Yes,
you can be interested, right? You can be interested in somebody, but it takes work to put a substantial, viable, really, really grounded, good relationship that you both can lean on in times of trouble. I mean, it's easy to love someone. It's hard, during the tumultuous times that every relationship goes through. And if you're not with the right person, it turns into a gigantic mess.
Good. Okay. I think we'll skip number 6.
Okay.
Just because of time. So let's go to 7.
Okay. What's the biggest mistake successful women make in dating? Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay. So I hate to say this, ladies.
Men. The biggest mistake. Sorry. I had to throw that in there.
I'm not saying that because I've got the greatest men in my program, ladies. But the biggest mistake that women make is that they are thinking, men do it too sometimes, but remember I said before, with the age, men have an advantage in dating quality women, and we're talking only about quality men. They have an advantage that they can go younger. And the mistake that women make is that they know their worth. And yes, you should get your worth. You should get someone you're compatible 2 and 3 ways with your 5 must-haves, but not 20 must-haves. And your 5 must-haves can't be someone younger because you think you look like you did last time you were single, which was when you were 25 years old. Women tend to do that a lot, and it doesn't work. So that's why I don't show ages after 50. You just have to leave it up to me, if you're in the program, that I'm basing it on compatibility. So who cares about what age? So a lot of women, when they're very successful, they just think, okay, well, I'm successful, he's successful, he'll be happy dating the same age as me. Well, only if you look younger on your pictures and he thinks you look younger. And is it fair? No, I know it's not fair. But in my program, I limit it to a few years older than you ladies, but a few years that you're older, and then 10 years older for you. You can say no, but you're probably not going to see his age, and you probably should say yes. If everyone said yes 90% of the time, which is what I ask, they'd all be successful. So, okay, what would you like to add to that? Because there's actually other mistakes too.
There's a whole load of stuff floating around.
I know. And I don't want to bang over the head my ladies, because we ladies have to stick together, and I'm here to help you. I just don't want you to be making these common mistakes.
Yeah, I wonder if finding an older man who's secure is attractive because of the security. And vice versa, either way, young guy, older woman, there's going to be a discourse. So you better love that person, and you better go be in that relationship for the right reasons, not because of the money or the security or the places I can go and this and that. I can tell people you can do that all on your own.
Right.
The basis is to be that you love being together. And you can have fights, and it doesn't matter if the guy's older or the gal's older. And, all of that stuff is ridiculous to me. I know it happens all the time.
Someone who has someone 6 years younger.
But that aside, I think.
Well, Kim, by the way, Dave is coming next week, and he'll be joining us at the Hamptons event on May 24th. So I'm inviting our clients if you all want to go. Now, it is going to be an expensive event because Stan's Papers is hosting it, but, hopefully our clients will show up too, but who knows? Okay, go ahead.
I always think to myself, good compatibility, good relationships, good partnerships, knows no age, knows no skin color, knows no monetary in it. It's just who you deserve to be with. You can figure it out the rest of the way, but that's the best start you can have.
Yeah. One other mistake that ladies make, and I'm sorry, I have to say it, ladies, because guys don't do these things. And yes, guys have it easier than we do. I get that. But another
guys don't
mistake,
do what things?
They don't make these mistakes that women make. They come to me, they take my advice when I say, okay, I could do everything I can do, but if you're not going to be these 3 things, positive, patient, and open-minded, it's not going to work. And they take my advice. And that's why I could make guys successful with my eyes closed. The ladies are the ones that will say, oh, no, I know what I like. Well, you're not finding it on your own. And I'm not a miracle worker. I'm not a magician. So, you have to take my advice. But one of the biggest mistakes also is, and I have very few people that make this, but maybe once or twice a year, I'll have someone come in and they'll say, I'm not fixing my hair. I'm not ever going to wear makeup. I'm not going to dress up for the photos. This is me. A guy has to like me for me. I'm not changing for a guy. Okay. That's a mistake in my service because I'm an upscale matchmaking service. So if you're a lady that feels like that's fine. But go on the internet sites because you'll have much better luck finding guys on the internet sites that don't care if you're wearing makeup. But the men that come to my program, they're put together. They work out, they're in good shape. They want someone who's soft and loving. They want someone who's attractive. They want someone who puts in effort because they're putting in effort. So, like I said, twice a year, and I have that with 2 of my ladies now with certain things, and I won't bring it up because I love the ladies, but they won't take our advice. And they're saying, no, I'm not changing. If they're going to say no to me, then it's their loss. But I'm wondering if someone feels like that, why would they even call an upscale matchmaking service? And of course, they don't tell me that on the interview. I'll say, for your photos, make sure you look your best. That would have been the time to tell me, though.
People like that are narcissistic.
Really? Never thought of it like that. Mm-hmm. Why do you think? Because they tell me.
Well, I think that it could never be their problem.
Oh, yeah.
They're perfect.
Yes.
I mean, trust me, I saw 40 people a day, 5 days a week for 40 years.
Mm.
So I have a general idea about the general public, and it's not mean. It just is. There some people are different, and that's what you're here for.
Yep. And that's why I don't take on everyone. But had things like that come up in the interview, I wouldn't have taken them on. And now in 2026, celebrating my 25 years of matchmaking, we raised the bar. And now I'm only taking on the top 20% of all singles on Long Island or snowbirds. That's it. So know that before you make the phone call. Can you be positive, patient, open-minded? Obviously, you don't have a felony record. Are you emotionally stable, financially stable, or very financially stable, looking for a committed relationship or looking for marriage? And try to do your best.
What do you consider financially stable, very financially stable?
Well, our men are very generous. They've always, I think any man that comes to a matchmaking service, they've always been generous, because if someone's not, they're not going to pay this fee, So I think when someone is either financially stable or very financially stable, for me, it's their reaction when I bring up the price. But I don't bring up the price in the program until I know I'm taking that person on, because Ruth does the first part of the screening process. And if they pass that, then she sets up the FaceTime interview with me. And then I decide, do I think I can make them successful? Do I think they'll take my advice? Are they the top 20% of singles on Long Island? And if they do, then I'll take them on. So there's typically 2 basic programs, except for the celebrity program and maybe for 20-year-olds. But there's one that people have to be financially stable for. And then the other one is for people that are very financially stable. And we don't do credit anymore, because in the past, again, we've raised the bar in 2026. In the past, almost anyone could really put everything on a credit card. We don't want that. We want the men, especially, and the women, but because the women are paying too, they're paying the same thing. But if someone's financially stable, the VIP program, they'll say, oh my God, I thought you would be $20,000 or more like your colleagues. Mm-hmm. And obviously I'm not. I'm a tiny fraction of that. And then if they're very financially stable, then they will always say, wow, you do so much more. And again, this is nothing. And they're excited about doing it. So on the flip side, there have been times where a guy's like the other night, I was furious someone wasted my time. That's just one thing I don't have to waste, is time. And he kept bragging about how financially stable he is, how generous he is, all the things that he, blah, 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 blah. And then they'll either say, they'll just come up with an excuse that they can't pay that. And it's like, well, why do you do that? So that person I know was not financially stable, but he posed as that. Mm-hmm. Now, I think on Long Island or anywhere across the country, it's a well-known fact that even though my fees, the 20-year-olds, I only charge $1,000 for a tiny trial program. I don't make any money on $1,000, but it's my way of giving back. And I get a lot of referrals because they're so easy to match. And then I have a total of 5 programs. So the highest program are for the celebrities on Long Island that either have a house somewhere else and in the Hamptons. They're well known. People know them. They want me to do the compatibility They don't want to go through their agent for another celebrity. They want a regular person, and they're very, financially stable. So for them, I work with them a year, but I don't think it's really taken me a year. But anyway, if it does sometimes, then I'll make sure I make that person successful. But that program is $12,000. And every single celebrity will say, "What, Maureen, why are you doing that? I would have paid double, triple, but it's just, I like doing it like that. I like running my business like this because it kind of proves to people why I'm in the business, not just because it's a lucrative, opportunity. It's because I love what I do. So, but my fees, again, $1,000 up to $12,000 are very, very reasonable if you look at any certified matchmaking service, and you can do a search online, and you'll see most of them charge $25,000 up to $100,000, but don't usually charge the other person. So that's, I guess, basically what I'm saying is I can tell by the fact that if I take someone on, I need them to pick which program they want, because I have to do the third part of my compatibility analysis, a personality test on them at the end, but I don't need them for that because I don't want anyone to waste time on the interview. I want the interview to be a lot of fun. And a lot of times we're talking about completely other things, but yet I'm getting the answers to what I need. So, I just need their 5 best qualities, their 5 must-haves, and their hobbies, because everything else I'm finding out anyway. That person only needs to talk for 15 minutes, and then they hang up, and my work just begins. I'm filling in all the information that I need and doing that personality test. So
that's what you need staff for.
The answer is, it's obvious to me when someone is or isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Next question.
I think it's 8.
Yes.
Okay. So, what do men privately complain about most in dating today? Should we do this, or should I skip it?
Let's see. What does Dave complain about? Maureen talking when he wants to think.
I don't think I complain about much.
Except that.
Yeah, maybe that. Yeah.
And there's a million things for you to complain about.
It's complaining. I've scoured the planet looking for a perfect person, and I haven't found one. So almost. And I think people get too caught up on what the fantasy is in their head, much more so than what realistically they're missing. I get what you say about, people come to you and they say they want this, I want this, I want this height, this, I want this.
It's just 5 must-haves. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
They'll try to do more. I won't let them know.
Yeah, everybody wants to do more. And I think you would be a better person to answer this question. I mean, how many of them get all of their 5 musts or decide, well, man, she looks really lovely, and she has that, and she has this, and I'll go out with her and see what and it turns out not to be as many of their must-haves,
Well, sometimes I do deviate on the must-haves if the compatibility is very strong. So, but I would say what men usually complain about is they might try the internet dating sites first. And the women use fake photos, old photos, filtered photos.
Like photos that you had hair before?
And I think, they turn out to be that they're looking for chemistry, and no one's going to know right away if you have compatibility unless you have someone interviewing them both and making sure you're compatible. So it takes the average person 6 months to know if you're compatible with someone. And men, a lot of times, will complain because they're going out with a girl who, it's chemistry, and on the first date, we tell people what we're looking for. Mm-hmm. So now you've just given that girl the ammunition to pretend she's all those things, but people can't keep pretending for usually after 6 months. So a lot of times guys will say, and then she changed after 6 months. No, she didn't. She lied. You told her what you wanted. She said she was those things. She wasn't those things. So now here we're doing it different. I'm going to find you someone that actually is compatible with those 5 things. So that's usually what men complain about before they come to me. Okay, next question.
Okay. So what's something most singles completely misunderstood about attraction?
Attraction. I think that my saying compatibility breeds chemistry, but not the other way around. I think this is an example of that people think, and you said it before, like they think it's the movies. They think on the first date they're going to be blown away with chemistry. Again, that's very, very, very rare. And if it does happen, that person could be a narcissist, because that's one of the MOs, that they put you up on a pedestal so high because they want you. And then once they feel that they love you, then they start knocking you off that pedestal. So if something sounds way too good to be true, it usually is. A first date should not be off the charts like that. That's not realistic. Yeah. And that's why we recommend going out 3 times, and don't expect to be blown away. Look for the compatibility that you have, in my program anyway, and enjoy that, getting to know them. And then you hope compatibility breeds chemistry. You have to hope that chemistry begins. And if it does, you're set. That's it. You're done. What do you think?
I like your answer. It says, looks may open the door, but energy keeps someone interested. Confidence, kindness, femininity, masculinity, humor, emotional stability, and authenticity, ding, 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 are all what we create lasting attraction. That was a good answer.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm not surprised.
Okay. One more, and then I have hundreds of matches to send out. For my clients that are watching this, you've all been so patient these last 2 weeks while I was so busy. So thank you so much. So anyway.
She was very busy. So you guys got to cut her a little bit of a break.
And it's not the guys, it's the ladies. So
the ladies, please cut her a little bit of a break. So why has MTM matchmaking lasted 25 years when so many dating services fail?
Well,
this is where you get to espouse how great your service.
No, I'm not going to do that, but I'm just going to say that I do things differently. And it's because coming from the pharmaceutical industry to matchmaking, I worked first for the first major dating service that came to Long Island. And I saw the things that I didn't like. And then the next company popped up and they hired me for a promotion. And then I took the business away from that first company. So they hired me back at a promotion. Then another company, which was an offshoot of the second company, hired me for the city and I was in charge of the whole office there. So I learned all about how they worked. And then I couldn't work in the city any longer. They promised me that I would only have to work a year. No, I think it was 6 months because my kids were young.
Mhm.
But I just didn't see anything in sight of me being able to get back to Long Island. So someone that I knew from the first company, his friend was opening up on Long Island, and he hired me to train all of his people and to open up his office, but to do everything. When I walked into the office, there was nothing there. I had to do the advertising, everything, but using his money. So that was the best experience for me. But again, with all those companies, there are things that I knew I could do better, and I could do more ethical. And so that's what I do. And the key is that I'm the owner and I'm doing it. I have to meet everyone personally to feel comfortable. I'm doing a criminal felony background check in every single state. I'm making sure they're not controlling or narcissistic. I'm making sure they are financially stable. I'm trying to make it easy on people that it's enough of an investment, but yet not 25,000 to 100,000 and only charging one. Both parties are paying. And I can do 3 appointments every single day, so it all, works out to my advantage, of course. But I think it's because it is like my kids. My kids are my life. They always have been. And I always said my business is my baby. So there have been a few times in the years that people have done really shitty things. Like that last company, when I said I'm leaving, he vowed to put me out of business. And he was out of business on Long Island within 6 months. So, but when you love something so much, I don't mind working around the clock to make sure I'm doing everything to the best of my ability to have the thousands of success stories that I do. So that's it. It just
she does work around the clock, people. I can swear to that.
Thank you. Okay, so thanks for joining in again today.
My pleasure.
And we'll see you next week, and Dave will be right here.
That's right. That's right.
So have a great weekend, everybody. And if you have any more questions, you can comment below, because again, it's only on private right now. Haven't figured that part out yet, but and I will talk to you later, Dr. Dave.
Yeah, I'm heading to the gym and swimming. So.
Ooh, wish I can go swimming. Oh, but my face.
I got to lift first. Your face looks good. It does.
It hurts a little,
Yeah,
but I know that's normal. Okay. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Talk to you
later.
Love
you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.